Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show. You may have seen her in Morocco, New York City, Los Angeles, California, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the background singers for Mickey Howard and the late, great Gerald Levert. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, the beautiful, the wonderful, the spectacular, Miss Coco McMillan.
Good evening, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show, where we make it happen. I am so excited to be with you today. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is the Coco McMillan Show, where we feature our national and our local recording artists, musicians, business owners, social media gurus, physical and mental health awareness. We all feature this right here on the show. We want you to be a part of the show because we give the guests the opportunity to come on the show to discuss their career goals, their challenges, new opportunities, as well as awareness. So we have designed this show just for you. If you want to be a part of the Coco McMillan Show, please make sure that you contact me at cocomcmillanmusic@gmail.com, or you can reach me on any of the social media platforms. I am here for you, where you can come on the show and tell us all about what you're doing. We want you to bring your experience, your knowledge to the show. We believe in sharing your journey and your testimony, because I say this every week. Millions of people can be blessed just by your testimony. So we want you to come to the show and share your journey with our viewers. We are here live on the IBM network. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. If you are in your home and you have your Roku TV, go to Add Channels and download Pod TV Live. And it's free, by the way, okay? Download Pod TV Live and you can watch it there in the presence of your home. Or you can go to www.podtv.tv and watch it there as well. So there's many ways that you can watch the show. We are just so excited that you decided to join me tonight. And hey, listen, I want you to go ahead and text someone, ping them, call them, whatever you have to do, and let them know that you are about to spend the next hour with your girl, Coco McMillan, and we have some amazing guests on the show tonight. So listen, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to go ahead and tell someone else to go ahead and jump on. Listen, like and share this broadcast. We want you to share with everyone so we can make sure this information is very important, very informative, and very helpful information get out to the people that needs to hear it. So make sure you like, share, and comment. Let us know what you want to see. All right, can you do that for me? Listen, everyone that's watching, go ahead and give your shout out right now. We're going to do our roll call, and go ahead and let me know where you are watching from so we can give you a shout out. Listen, if you are in the Cary area anytime, if you are a morning person, I want you to visit my coffee shop. I am located inside the Amtrak Depot, 211 North Academy Street, inside the Amtrak Depot in Cary, North Carolina. Stop by, get a cup of coffee, hot chocolate, get you some, we call them nabs. We used to call them nabs back in the day. The young kids call them crackers now. I'm like, okay, those are nabs. So anyway, come by and get you some little gifts that we have for you. You'll really have a good time. And guess what? You chat with your girl, you chat with me. So stop by. I am open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. All my early birds that need your morning coffee, 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So come by and see me. Monique Taylor, thank you so much for joining and watching. We have Jean Johnson, that's Newark, New Jersey in the house. Irvington, actually, New Jersey in the house. Tracy Esco, that is Queens, New York in the house. Thank you guys so much for watching. Listen, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to go ahead and get into the show tonight because I am so excited about our guests that we have on. We were backstage and we were just cutting up, having a good time. March is Women's Month. We are celebrating women. So you're going to see in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have several women that we're going to be honoring on this show because it is Women's Month. This young lady, I just love her spirit already. You can always tell a person when you just have that first 30 seconds with them. So I already love her spirit. She's a wonderful woman of God, Miss Sarah A. Crawford. Shout out to her team, Wayne Booker, everyone for making this happen for me, for her to be a part of this show. When I tell you she is amazing, she is absolutely amazing. Miss Sarah A. Crawford is the director of the Women's Business Center at True Access Capital. She's an entrepreneur. She's a fashion stylist, an author, a connector, and curator. She wears many hats, okay? She is an experienced architect. She also provides the mindset education, brand awareness, growth solutions to entrepreneurs and organizations. I am so glad that she took the time tonight to come on to share some information with us tonight, her journey. She's committed to promoting minority-owned businesses and supporting Black creators through the Original Color Collective, a platform that she co-founded during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I want her to come on and talk about what she's doing, tell us all about her journey. But before I bring her on, I want to play this quick clip of her because I was checking it out and I love the inspiration that she was giving to women and talking about art. So I want you to check this out.
When I looked through your art, I really saw a lot of inspiration of Black women, like our silhouettes. I really saw, it just was like, it was weird because it was like fashion forward, like big city forward. I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's what I saw. And I thought it was really inspiring because I thought it also told a story of women, and March is Women's History Month. So that made sense, and it glowed in the dark. And I was like, I like all these things, like how you bring them all together. But when, luminescence, like I told you the story, we were talking about really trying to figure out a word that just kind of embodied everything, but I wanted it to be fun, but I also wanted to be, powerful. And I think that we have lived in a time where as a black woman, our light is dimmed by so many things. And I feel like it's almost opposite. Like this allows everything to glow and shine and be seen.
Yes. Let's please help me welcome my guest, Miss Sarah A. Crawford.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you? I am good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. I'm just so excited that you took this opportunity to come and just tell us about everything that you're doing, your journey. I told you earlier I was going to play a clip you didn't know.
I was like holding my breath. I was like, oh God, what clip?
Well, I love that, Illuminescence. I love that. And something stuck with me that you said in that video clip when you talked about so many women have a dim, their light is dim. But we're going to get back to that. I want to just make note of that because I really want to talk about that in a few minutes. But Sarah, welcome to the show. Tell us, where are you living? Where are you from? Tell us a little bit about your background before we get into that.
I am from Newcastle, Delaware. That's where I currently live. I have also lived in Tampa, Florida, and New York City, literally.
Wow. Okay, Newcastle, Delaware. So I spent a lot of time in Delaware during the COVID. It's funny, like when COVID, when it shut down 2020, we go to record because we knew it was no traffic. Nobody would be out.
No traffic at all.
But yeah, I love the state of Delaware. You've been doing some amazing things, Sarah, in architect, being an entrepreneur, really just focusing on women and, inspiring women. But that clip, when you said our light is dim and we needed something to brighten us up, can you elaborate on that just a little bit about what you meant when you said our women, our light is dim?
So, we live in a time, and I want to say it's past tense, but it's still current as well. We live in a time where opportunities aren't necessarily always still afforded to us because we're women, maybe sometimes women of color. Also, that people don't want to hear what we have to say. They want us to be quiet, very much want us to be quiet. That doesn't work here. So, uh, I think that it is important to talk about the ugly truths and the great things as well. And the ugly truths is that sometimes we're not welcome at the table, which is why I'm very, very much rooted in wanting to build my own table and creating opportunity, not only for myself, but for women and entrepreneurs and creatives and those of people of color, because we're not afforded the same opportunities and the same privileges. Right. So being Women's History Month, I wanted to kind of start with a bang. And so there's a local artist, Velvet Poindexter, who does glow in the dark sand art. And we partnered and did luminescence. And so that's who I was actually referring when I was talking. But when I saw her art, it's so powerful and so bold in regards to women, exaggerated features. And it's just so unapologetically us. So and then it glowed. So it's just like, it really was like the opposite. It just really showed who we are, what we do for our communities, for our families, for ourselves. It was just a really beautiful light. So it was, hey, luminescence.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Good evening, Cass. Thank you so much for joining. Angela Peace Corps, I see that you're watching. I want you to make sure you connect with Sarah, okay? Angela is amazing. She has a lot of conferences here in our area, focusing on women, entrepreneurs, and she's absolutely amazing. So she's watching tonight. Shout out to Angela, also Quentin Bullock. But I wanted to ask you, Sarah, you wear a lot of hats. You're an entrepreneur, you're in fashion, you're an author, you connect to people. Where is the work-life balance? How do you do it?
So my bio is more of a reference point of the things I've done and do, but I don't wear as many hats. I try not to wear as many hats as I used to. So I am the former director of the Women's Business Center. I did evolve from that role so I could go into full-time entrepreneurship. And
Mm.
that's only been about 6 months ago. And I've always been an entrepreneur, but again, full time is very different than part time. So I'm still very much an advocate for the Women's Business Center. I still believe we
Yes.
have some of the best resources for entrepreneurs,
Yes.
in Delaware. But what I am doing now is I am working with organizations, creatives, and small businesses, and I'm working with them on their branding, on their social media, their PR,
Yes.
really just making sure that they have a digital imprint of their business so that they can really scale and have that opportunity to reach new and old audiences. So I'm
Mm.
focused on that. And I am also the curator for the MKT Place Gallery. It's an art gallery that has it's an unconventional art gallery, boutique
Mm.
gallery.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I also am the creator of Her Legacy, which I'm sure we'll talk about for Women's History Month,
Yeah.
and Blondie Mansion. Blondie Mansion is my initiative where I have built the ecosystem for creatives and small business owners. We create innovative experiences where we fuse music, art, and business, so that we could create great impact in our community.
Oh my God, that's
So
amazing.
I work a lot.
Do you work a lot? And so, and
But
so
but
I
I
guess
do understand how to unplug. It's important. I gotta unplug. Gotta unplug sometimes. Still learning, but I gotta unplug.
I know, but it's wonderful that you have. I'm sorry, someone was asking a question. What part of Delaware? She's Newcastle. It's
I'm
Newcastle,
I'm in
Delaware.
I'm in Wilmington, which is right by
Wilmington. Okay,
Newcastle,
right,
Newcastle County.
right.
Same thing. Hmm.
Okay. It's so amazing that you have this passion, for helping, to create this, helping the small businesses, in your career. What are some of the challenges that you face when you either trying to help someone or, even trying to launch your own? Did you have any of the challenges?
Absolutely. I think you can be the most well-versed person, most educated. And I was just having this conversation today. I'm always teaching, but now that I'm on the other side of it full time, I know these things, but I also have to condition myself in some of the things I've been teaching. So
Yes.
it's kind of like you gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the
With the
walk.
walk.
So very much. So I'm still learning how to create balance. Balance is hard because as an entrepreneur, you're constantly find yourself working. It's not like clocking in and out at a job. So
Right.
work life balance is definitely something that I'm still learning, and definitely managing my time. Managing my time. Time management is a big one because you
Wow.
sign up for so many things. It's literally
Yes.
24 hours in a day, and you don't work 24 hours in a day.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Because you have
So
to find some time
yes, yes.
for yourself. Now, when you find in time, when you do find your time for yourself, what are some of the things that you do that no one knows that you enjoy doing just to get that peace of mind so you can regroup and get back on it?
It's funny. I don't know if people know this. I actually like to sit in my house sometimes with music and sometimes without, and I just like to sit in silence. And it's really almost like meditating for me. It's peaceful. And my home is very peaceful on purpose, very intentional. But sometimes in order to unplug, I don't want to hear anything.
Right.
I just want to be quiet. Because the streets can be loud, you're working, it's loud. And I don't necessarily mean noise loud. I just mean like loud in thought, loud
Yeah.
because of it's demanding. And when you are in the community and you are a servant and you're always giving of yourself, you have to retreat sometimes. You have to hit a reset button.
Right. Right.
So I'm fine with giving, but I gotta be quiet. So I'm usually quiet, or I like massages and I like facials, like
Oh,
self-care.
good. Oh, yes, that self time, that me time. That's what. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah. So what will cause it? What you doing? It's I'm busy. I'm taking care of me. You have to
absolutely.
do that, and especially not being biased or anything, but as women, as
Mhm.
you said, when we talked about the light, it's so many things that come that distracts us or that try
Yes.
to knock us off track, and then we lose focus, and then we. So I think it's very Very important that we have that. One of the other things I wanted to ask you when we was talking about the COVID, in 2020, you started your own. You started doing some different things that, of course, we had to improvise. We had to do something because
Mhm.
that was. So, what made you start? How did you come up with that platform that you started during the pandemic?
So during COVID, I was the director of the Women's Business Center, and we were definitely and it's a SBA technical assistance program. So there's definitely it was we were definitely seeing the effects of it. People
Yeah,
needing money, trying to figure out how they were going to sustain,
yeah,
if they were going to go out of business. It was just so many things they were worried about. And although I was able to do the things I was able to do under the organization, there were other things that I could see that were happening. And what I saw was a big focus was e-commerce, was digital space, because a lot
mm,
of people, which I didn't know, a lot of these business owners were not prepared to pivot in that way. So because I saw the need, I really wanted to create something that was a little evergreen. So I really focused on visuals, photography, and videography, creating reels and things of that nature. So they would be able to use those items
mm,
to be able to be online and have on their websites and things of that
yeah,
nature. So it was a group of four of us, and we it was kind of like the staple, and then we would bring other people in for things, and we would work together to create these videos were amazing, these great videos and all this beautiful photography, and we will focus in on models or products or whatever the actual like theme was for that shoot. But we were able to work with a total of 25 different creatives or small
oh,
business
good.
owners, and we were able to increase their visibility by about 60% in a matter of like a year. So
Wow.
I think we did some really great things, and I was really proud of it. Really proud
Yeah,
of it.
you should.
Yeah,
Yes, because you had to. I think it was important. A lot of people didn't know what to do when this happened. Everybody just kind of went
absolutely.
like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." And so the fact that you say, "Okay, let's sit here," the group, you guys got together and created this, and now it's helping so many people
Yep.
in the
Yes.
industry. So, what do you see yourself doing? What do you see 5 years from now, Sarah?
Oh Lord, 5 years from now. Um, I'm like, ooh, 5 years. 5 years from now, my focus, I really want to be in Blondie Mansion, which is a combination of all the things I've been doing, but on a bigger scale, and being able to not only do that work in Delaware, but to be able to do it in other states as well.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be phenomenal. Well,
Yes.
I am just certainly really amazed. I'm so happy what you're doing. I'm
Thank
following
you.
you. Trying to keep up with everything you're doing. That her legacy is coming up.
Yes, it's
You
coming
want
up
to talk
March
about that? Just
17th. Yes.
talk about
So
that just
so
a little bit.
Okay, so her legacy, we're in our seventh year. This is our year where we've kind of pivoted. We have it's new branding, new name, but same impact. We highlight 10 women in the Delaware and Pennsylvania area for the
Okay.
amazing things that they're doing in their small business or in our communities as change makers. And the stories are amazing. So in 7 years, I've been able to, and actually, is the first year I did it, I honored 20 people, and it was standing room only because I didn't
Wow,
know it was going to happen that way. So in 7 years, I've been able to highlight 80 women, and that's great.
that's
So
amazing.
yeah, so I'm really excited. It's going to be different this year. We're doing a brunch. It's going to be like a day party. But we're really highlighting these women because they have great stories, and a lot of them, all of them, they add such great value to our community. Some of them, they
Yeah,
work in the community and they have a small business, and they're talking about relevant things like
yeah.
self-care. They're talking about coaching. They're working with our children. I mean, they're just in the community doing really great things. And I really believe that, with them paving the way for the next generation, we'll be in good hands.
You'll be in good
So
hands.
we'll be in good hands. So let's honor them. Let's honor them.
That's why give them their flowers while they're living, and
Yes.
and that's so important. It's so so needed. And I'm so grateful for you, Sarah. Just your
Thank you
creativity.
so much for having me.
It's going to be amazing. We have your information running here at the bottom of the screen. But if you just want to tell the viewers how, in case we missed something, how they can contact you, if they want to hear more about her legacy or anything that you're doing.
I am Sarah A. Crawford across the board, Instagram, Facebook, all social media platforms, Sarah A. Crawford. And I'm also sarahacrawford.com for my website.
Yes. Well, but listen, much favor. I don't say good luck, much favor to you for March the 17th.
I appreciate
it's going to be amazing. I already know that God has set the atmosphere for you. And it's just going to, and the women are going to be so, you don't know how many lives you are touching, even the ones that you're honoring. And I say on the show every week, people are amazed and could be blessed by other people's testimony. So, each one teach one. So when they share their story and what they're doing, and that just gives hope for somebody else that they can do it too. So, we got to push our sisters and our brothers. So I am truly grateful that the gift that God has bestowed on you to reach out to the community and to the nation. So thank you again, Ms. Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
Welcome. You're welcome. You got to come back to the show. We're going to stay in contact.
Anytime.
All right. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. Same to you. Have a good night.
You too. Yes, that was Miss Sarah A. Crawford. Shout out to her team as well, working so diligently for her behind the stage. I had a chance to talk to some of them on yesterday, so shout out to them. Rosalind, what's up, Rosalind? Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Terrellyn. Again, if y'all didn't see that on my page, the couple of weeks ago, well, maybe last week, about Terrellyn singing the national anthem at the basketball game, and then she turned around and played. You got to check out that clip. So, and that's what it's all about, just inspiring and helping our youth, our women, our children, the community, entrepreneurs. That's what it's all about, and that's what this show is about. So listen, our next guest, longtime friend. I am so excited to talk to him. I feel like it's a reverse role, because for the years that I've known him, I've been on the other side. So I'm so grateful that he's taken this opportunity to come out and talk on the show about his business and what he's been doing. 39 years. I think it'll be 40 years in August that he's been in radio, also working in television. He is now the CEO of JAS Consulting and Media. He wears many hats as well too, because the consultant job, it consumes of formatting, speaking, preaching, music scheduling, branding, talent coaching. So all this that he does, he has, worked in radio. I remember him 20 years ago, going from, was a DJ. Now he is a professional in his radio marketing, digital streaming. So I'm so glad that he's on here. He's the CEO. He's a visionary. He is a trailblazer for many people. He has helped a lot of people in this city. For those that don't know, it is the one and only Mr. Jerry Smith. Before I bring him on, I want to play this quick clip for you. It was the music for me. Please help me welcome my guest tonight, Mr. Jerry Smith. You heard me, Jerry?
Wow, what an introduction. First it was tough to follow Sarah. She's amazing. Then you put on my company logo and promo. I'm like, oh my goodness. I've got to go on the air. Oh no, no,
Oh
no,
my
no,
God. You are a natural, Jerry. You are a natural. That's why I say I feel like it's an opposite role here. Like, I cannot believe I'm interviewing Jerry Smith. Oh my God.
Well, first and foremost,
Jerry.
I give honor to God. All blessings flow from Him. And certainly it's a blessing to be on the Coco McMillan show. You're right. The roles have reversed. I was just thinking about our history and my good
Yeah.
late friend, Jasmine James, who was a
Yes.
co host on the morning show. She and I
Yes.
on a radio station in Raleigh, K97.5. And
Yeah.
I didn't know Jasmine was so talented, just
So talented.
quick-witted, but I didn't know she can sing. She actually
Yeah.
sang at my wedding.
Yes.
And when I got married, not my wedding, but my wife's wedding, the one that I was, there. I can't say it was my wedding.
You said my
You know what
wedding.
I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
And so Jasmine could sing, and she had a circle of friends
Yeah.
that could sing, and you were one of them. And
Yes.
another young lady from her town over in Mount Olive that sang with an R&B group. The name escapes me right now.
Oh.
But she was, she was the reason I got to know you.
Yes.
And I'll never forget it. She was bragging about you, talking about how good you can sing. And I'll never forget this. When the OJs came in town and they sang at Walnut Creek. I don't know what it's called now.
Right.
I'm like, that's Coco up there. Oh my goodness. She's singing with Eddie Levert. And, I was like blown away. And then you, with your relationship with Gerald Levert, traveling not only the country, but the world.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I know. Wow.
Wow. So,
I know, Jerry. Like it's crazy how God have just been so amazing in both of our lives, And you're right. That was almost 20 years, almost 20 years ago. And I'm so glad that we continue the relationship. The other thing is so special about this, Jerry, and I'm so glad that you agreed to come tonight, because what you guys don't know as well, and I wanted to say this live while everyone is watching, make sure you go ahead and put it in the chat. Jerry is going to be celebrating a birthday.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Oh my goodness.
You didn't know what I was going to say.
I didn't. March 12th.
March 12th. And I think we realized that we had the same birthday, Jerry, when we were doing something for Radio One, when we were doing, I think it was for the breast cancer month or something like that. Something we was talking about, and we finally we realized that we had the same birthday. So I wanted to say to you, happy early birthday, my brother.
Well, thank you so much, and happy birthday to you. I wish I could sing, Coco. That's one thing I can talk, but I cannot sing. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
You gotta love it, guys. Go ahead and put it in the chat and go ahead and wish my brother Jerry happy birthday. You are truly amazing, Jerry. It's gonna be 40 years that you've been in radio. Am I correct? In August?
Yeah, 40 years, August. That's when I celebrate my anniversary. I don't know the exact date that I started, but that's when I started professionally. And I did a year and a half of college radio. Central Connecticut State University. I don't count that. I count when I officially started getting paid to be a professional broadcaster, and that was in August of 1984. Yeah.
Wow. And what did you, growing up, Jerry, did you know that you wanted to be in radio and television? I mean, who inspired you?
When I was 12 years old, Coco, and I'm glad you asked me that, and I love to share this story. At the age of 12 years old, God put in my heart radio. Now, I
Wow.
come from humble beginnings, the projects of High Ridge Gardens in Danbury, Connecticut, right on the New York state line. And we're about a little over an hour from New York City. And I used to listen to WBLS and the chief rocker, Mr. Frankie Crocker, who is an icon in
Yes.
industry. And at 12 years old, I knew I wanted to be in radio. And I have to make a confession. I wanted to meet the girls, get the records, and get into the concert. Little did I know how my career would turn out and that God would get the glory out of my life. But I like to share this story because at that young age and humble beginnings, a lot of people told me I wouldn't do radio, that I wouldn't do it, couldn't do it, and so on
Wow.
and so forth. And 7 years later, at the age of 19, I was doing it in college as DJ Hollywood.
DJ Hollywood.
Never been to Hollywood in my life, up until maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. But they were like, you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that. And I could see it, taste it, smell it, and feel it. It was like, why are people telling me I'm not going to do radio? Just like I'm holding this phone, I could feel it. And like I said, 7 years later, I was doing it in college and I started doing it professionally in 1984. And I've been rolling ever since, radio and television. And God
Wow.
has just been so good. That's why I acknowledge him and I give him the glory because it's nobody but him.
Nobody. And two things that you said, Jerry, when you just talked about your story, and then you acknowledge God. When you say when you think about the number 12, I think about when Jesus started. Then you say the number 7 years later, when they told you that you couldn't do it, you wouldn't do it, you would make 7 years later, and everyone knows what the number 7 means, complete.
Yeah, yeah.
That he worked it out in your favor. I mean, because you were obedient to the Lord's voice to pursue it anyway, no matter what anyone said.
Yeah, yeah.
And God just 40 years. You know what? I don't know if anyone's out there. You got to understand, 40 years, going into 40 years is a long time in your profession. You understand? A lot of times you get weak, you get tired, you drain, you're distracted. Jerry, was there any time in your 40-year career that you wanted to give up because of stress level or any kind of challenges?
Never. And
That's what I wanted to hear.
this is like a lot of times people do get into radio and television for the celebrity. But
Right.
for me, having the humble beginnings, Coco, I think about all the people that helped my mom. My dad passed away when I was 9 years old at a young age.
Mhm.
And my mom raised 4 boys all by herself. And again, humble beginnings, but a hard-working family. My mom graduated college in her 30s. She was the first of 13 kids to graduate. She was very ambitious. She's an entrepreneur. And I just think about all the people that helped us and helped her raising
Yeah.
4 boys. And there were a lot of people that gave. And so I wanted to use that medium for community, to give back, to help people in their times of need. And anybody that knows Jerry Smith, the first thing they think of is community. Man, this guy's always out in the community,
Always.
doing something in the community. And so that mission is always going. It's never going to end. People are going to need help. And that's really what I use that medium for. Me being a celebrity, enjoying the fruits of being in radio and TV, that's cool. But my heart
Yeah.
is genuinely to help people. And I never get tired of that.
Yes. And I am a true witness. And I think that whoever's on here that's watching it, they will agree, because every time I see you and you're so humble with it and soft spoken and just anointed. I need to add on here preacher, pastor. That's what I need to add to the bio.
Not a pastor, but if God calls me, I will follow. I learned a long time ago that he's in control of everything. Don't even try to fight it. Just let it flow.
Right. Right. I mean, you have really truly been an inspiration just knowing you for all these years. And Melissa, and I guess one of the questions I wanted to ask you too, when you were working with Radio One and doing some of the urban events, you had a lot to do with putting on a lot of those activities and events like the women's empowerment, the Radio One cruise. I remember, Jerry. I remember. Hold on, let me get it together. I remember when we did the Radio One cruise, and it was after Gerald died, because I think Gerald was supposed to have been doing the cruise, and he passed. And I don't know how I end up doing it, but I just thank God for his favor. And you introduced me, but you had a lot to do with setting up these events. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I always tell people that it's okay to start small or in the beginning, because if you put your hard work and your heart into it, it will grow. So the One Love Cruise, because at that time I oversaw all of the gospel programming for Radio One, they knew I had relationships with the artists and the record labels. So they said, hey, Jerry, can you help us get 5 or 6 groups for the One Love Cruise? We're going to partially charter a ship. I think Radio One took half of the ship. And they asked me to get them some groups. I can't remember who they were, but I got the groups. And they said, well, Jerry, since you've got the relationship with the record label and the artist, we want you to come on so you could be the liaison.
Yes.
Set the lineup up. So I did it, and it went flawless. Everything was great. So the next year they said, we want you to do it again, but we want you to bring some staff members. So bring some of the gospel DJs. And it just kept growing and growing, and my role kept growing. And before you knew it, it was almost as big, if not equally big, to the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage.
That's right.
And artists loved it. It was almost like a family reunion, and they looked forward to it. And it was just amazing. And Coco, the company used to send me. Now, I started just recommending some artists, and the company, Radio One, used to send me to test out cruises. They were flying me all around the world. Jerry, we want you to give us your opinion on this ship. Do you think this ship would be a good ship for us to do the cruise? And I went from booking the artists to booking the pastors, working with a team to put the seminars on and church services. Yes. It was crazy, but I loved it. And that was just one of many things I was involved in, and it was just crazy.
You women's empowerment, and that was a huge event. So I know that was a lot of planning, the strategy, all that stuff. That's a lot, Jerry.
It is a lot. And the thing about women's empowerment too, I'll never forget, our first one was at the Raleigh Civic Center. Dr. Jocelyn Elders was the speaker. We had about 3,000 people. There were no musical acts, no vendors or anything like that. And it just grew and grew and grew. And my role in that, and I worked with a great team of people. That wasn't just Jerry Smith, but my role was running the show and booking artists for that. And so it was important to me that show ran flawlessly. So you would see me with headsets on and notepad and working orders out. All right, go get such and such. Make sure they're on deck. So that was a great experience as well.
It was, and I know that have you doing all that. I know you was busy, but what I loved about you, even through all of that, Jerry, you still had time to speak, or when someone had a question, just being cordial, because you had so many fans and people trying to get to you, but you will always smile and turn and wave and continue what you was doing, and that says a lot That says a lot about you, Jerry. Just
Well,
your humble spirit.
well, thank you. And those people, those fans, they're the reason I'm successful. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I appreciate that. And a lot of times I like to put myself in someone else's shoes. When I was a little boy, I went to New York City, Madison Square Garden, to watch the New York Knicks play basketball.
Woo woo!
At that time, my idol was Walt Frazier, Clyde Frazier. And so I snuck all the way down to the court during halftime. And Clyde was, I don't think he was having a good game, but that didn't matter to me. So I think the coach was fussing him out, and my timing was wrong. And so here I am, a little snotty-nosed little kid, and I go up to him, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and I was like, my whole mission was to touch Walt Frazier. And I felt like if I touched him, some of that would rub off on me, and I'd be the next Clyde, right? So I tap him on his shoulder, and I'm like, "Hi, Clyde, great game." He looked at me and gave me the death stare. His eyes were like daggers, and it broke my little heart. I was trying to be nice and cordial to fans because I know that that's important to them. Just like when I was a boy reaching up, touching Clyde.
Oh, man.
You know?
He gave you the death look. He broke your heart.
It was cold. It broke my little heart.
And so that's why, and that's good. That's good because I do know how it feel when you trying to get to someone that you admire. And then if they give you the wrong look, that will shut you down like real quick. Oh my God, yeah.
And my game never turned out like Clyde's. It was good enough to let me play college ball at Central Connecticut State University, but not to the NBA. And that's what I was hoping. Get some of that Clyde juice on me.
Are you still a Knicks fan?
You know what? Basketball.
Come on, Jerry.
Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson. The game is just not the same. But I support the Bobcats, the Charlotte, the Charlotte team.
Look, so someone just put in the chat, wow, he looks so young. He is.
Listen, again, I give God the glory. It's the lifestyle. It's the
lifestyle. Yes, it's the lifestyle. So, Jerry, and I know we can talk all day long because we have so much that we can talk about. But I want to talk about JAS. You guys, you saw that we played the commercial earlier. You launched this in 2020. I know COVID was going on. It affected everyone. But tell us about launching JAS and what it involves.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, Coco, COVID was devastating to a lot of people, including me. The company that I worked for had a massive layoff. And I was one of those people laid off. It was 300 plus people.
Yeah.
And, I was like, God, what am I going to do? Nobody's going to want to pay me the salary that I'm earning.
Yes.
Now, they're going to look for younger people that they can pay a lot less to. People are laying off. They're not hiring. So what am I going to do? And God said, I want you to do for yourself what you've been doing for everybody else.
Ooh.
And I was like, really? So I think it was the day that I was laid off, the owner of a record label called me up to ask me about playing their artist on the light. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, you need to call Melissa Wade. I was just laid off maybe an hour or so ago, and I can't help you. And the person said, really? Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but would you consider being a record rep for my label?
Oh my God.
I was like, no, right? Right. Coco, I've been on the other side of the desk, and I know how hard it is to get your music played on radio. It was
Yes.
hard for me to tell people, no, I'm not going to play your music for whatever
Right.
reason.
Right.
Before they could even get it out, I said no.
No.
And then the next day, somebody else said, Jerry, I heard you're no longer with Radio One now. Sorry to hear about that. But I've got an artist that has a new record that's coming out, and I would love for you to be the record rep. And I was like, 2 days in a row.
Bro.
No. And he said, but Jerry, you've got all these connections. You've been in the business a long time. You're well respected. You would do well. And I was like, nah, man, I can't do that. But they stayed on me, Coco, for a
Oh,
week.
wow.
And the third time that they asked me, and I said, let me think about it. And so that's when I prayed to God. I said, God, these people want me to represent their clients, their artists. I've never done it before. I don't know if I can do it. I don't even want to do that because I've sat on the other side. I said, but this could be a ram in the bush.
Right.
He's gonna bless me, and I'm cutting off my nose to spite my face. And so God gave me the instructions, Coco, told me to do it. I followed his instructions to the letter.
Wow.
My company on May 7th, officially started the work May 8th, and it's been amazing. I mean, so that's the newest thing that I do. And God has blessed me in coming up on 4 years to have 7 top 30 Billboard charting songs.
Whoa!
One of my clients right now is currently at number 4, a number 15, a number 20, a number 22, a number 26. And there's one that I can't recall right now, but 7.
There's that number again, Jerry. There's that number.
I'm like, God, you are so amazing. And it's just humbling. I launched my own internet radio station.
Yes, 97.3.
Favor 97.3. Radio's in my heart, so I'll always do that. And I launched that on September 5th, 2020.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know this story. My mother, I told you I did college radio, and my mom helped me to get my first professional job in August 1984. My late mom was a preacher. She had a preaching show on a small radio station. She overheard the general manager say he needed some part-time help. My mom said, well, my son did college radio. Maybe he can help you. Send him down. I'd like to talk to him. They hired me in August of 84, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow.
My mom passed September 5th, 2018. And in memory of her, I launched the station. I birthed that and gave that life on the day that she passed, September 5th. 2 years later. But I launched it September 5th, 2020 at 5:55 a.m. They said that she passed at 5:55.
Oh my God, Jerry.
Yeah. So in addition to the radio station, which is still community oriented, it's designed to give small businesses a platform to market their products, goods, and services at an affordable price, because it's expensive.
It is
To advertise stuff. And being an entrepreneur, I know every dollar counts. So it's relatively inexpensive to get your message out about your products, goods, and services. I still book artists because I've got all those great connections with artists and management. So I help businesses, churches to book artists for their events. I still put on workshops and seminars, and I did a comedy show just about a year ago, February, clean comedy show, which was awesome. And since this is going to be my 40th year anniversary in the business, I've never celebrated myself. So I'm thinking about doing something special for the 40th anniversary and maybe doing a big concert, something like that. So that's still in the brainstorming phase. But yeah, so everything I did for other people in my radio career, I'm just doing for myself. And that's what JAS, Consulting and Entertainment, is all about.
I love that. I love that. These questions are coming in. Okay, so this first one, we're going back for a second. Someone wants to know, did you ever want to dress like Clyde?
He was smooth. The big coats, the bell bottom jeans. But don't laugh at me. Don't. When I tell you this, back in the '70s, yes.
Yes.
And one day, I'll tell you my whole story. But I had some uncles who were some gangsters, and one of my uncles was a pimp, and he used to dress like that, and I used to kind of borrow some of his clothes once in a while, but not the coats, but the bell bottoms and the shirts with the big collars. Yeah, I did.
Oh my goodness. That is too funny. Yes, and I think she's from the New York area. And that's why she probably wanted to know. Um, the other question they asked him, how can they contact you? They need more information. We do have some of his information running at the bottom of the screen here. But Jerry, you want to tell the
Yeah,
viewers as well how they can reach you?
yeah, for sure. It's really simple. My website is Jerry Smith 03. I'm actually the third. That's where that comes from. And I believe in the Father, Son, and the
And
Holy Ghost. So jerrysmith03.com. That's my website. My phone number is there. My email address is there as well. jerrysmith03.com.
wow, Jerry, this has been good. I really wish we had more time. I do want to say this to you, and people, if you want to reach Jerry and get more information, on this consultant, he's very um when you talk about talent coaching and branding, Jerry in my 20-year career has given me some great information, even about being an artist. For all the new artists that's coming out, you want to get the right information, you want to present yourself properly and professionally, just because I know one of the things you had said before, with artists, they be trying to get their songs played on the radio. You got the artist calling you. No.
Right, right, right.
No, the artist, no. You need some type of management, some kind of, but Jerry is great with giving you some of the what you need to get started, to do it right, professionally, because I truly believe this is one of our top professional gospel radio programmers. And because he's so you see, he's already associated with all the numbers. You got the 12, you got the 3, you got the 7. So you want to be around favor. You got 97.3 favor. So please, when you go to him, come to him correctly, have your stuff together. He's going to give you some great information and things, and trust what he says, because he's 40 years in the business. So I'm just grateful that I can call myself a friend, a sister, and just to be, under your tutelage for 20 years, just, following you and just getting some great information. So Jerry, thank you personally for me, everything that you have done for me in my music ministry. Thank you.
Coco, you're welcome. And I'm glad you just said that, because I'm just practicing what I preached for 30 years. I told people, what I thought was the best practices, the best approach to getting radio airplay. And for these past 4 years, I've just been applying that. And I've learned some other things too that has helped me to grow. But I'm just applying that information that I shared freely. Now I'm an entrepreneur, it's a business. So I do have to charge so I can take care of my financial responsibilities.
Right.
But I just share that to say that what I've been preaching for free and giving away freely for decades is truly effective, and it works. So I'm just glad a lot of my clients are having, the gentleman that had the number one song. That was his first. He had been doing it for 10 years.
Wow.
Artist that's at number 4 right now, she's a legend in the industry. God's given me some great clients, but a lot of my clients are having first-time success.
Woo.
I'm just applying the information that I shared for 30 years or so, and it's working.
Oh, I love it. I love it. The chat is going crazy here. I'm sure they're probably going to be reaching out to you because we have your information here at the bottom. Jerry, again, thank you for just coming on the show, just sharing your story. I saw in the chat people say, "Oh, I love his story," and that's what it's all about, because people can appreciate your story and you can help millions of people just by sharing your story, because each one teach one. They can do the same, and it's about helping someone to get to the next level. So thank you for sharing your journey with us, Jerry. Thank you for coming to the show. You have been an inspiration to the show tonight, so God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coco, and I love you. I love your heart. I didn't get into our Dorcas Ministries concert, but you have a big heart for community as well. And that's why we just are like two peas in a pod and kindling spirits, not only for our birthdays being on the same day, but we're genuinely two of a kind. So thank you for your heart, and thank you for the opportunity to be on your platform. Listen, we need to step aside, Oprah.
Because I'm coming. I'm
just playing. But I'm proud of you. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. And I just
radio too. You can do it all.
That's right. You use this platform, and you're helping other people. And I want to be a blessing to someone, and just to give them an opportunity to come and share and promote their music and do things. Some of the opportunities I didn't have. Because you know what, Jerry, this social media, we didn't have it like this 20 years ago.
Exactly. And then when it did come, I was like, now I'm like, dang, why didn't I? I'm all late now, too late. I
had to have a 7-year-old show me something on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm like, TikTok. I don't even think I had the name right. TikTok or something, I'm like, Lord, what? They're making money from just doing this, dancing? I'm like, Lord, have mercy. I missed the boat.
But that wisdom is much more. It's priceless. Yes. The wisdom is priceless that you have. So thank God for you, Jerry. Thank God. Keep doing what you're doing. We're going to be definitely praying for you, lifting you up. Congratulations to you that everything that you have coming up in the future as well. So God bless you, Mr. Jerry Smith. I love you, brother, forever.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, that was the one and only Mr. Jerry Smith from 97.5 Favor, also JAS Consulting Company. If you want to get in touch with him, again, his information is at the bottom of the screen. He will lead you in the right direction. So make sure that you contact him if you are ready. If you are ready to go to the next level, make sure that you contact him. So that is it for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, all your comments. We're going to leave you tonight with my girl, homegirl here in Raleigh, North Carolina, Durham, Carrie, Miss Kim Person. I always say to you, trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not to thy own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. God bless you tonight. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. We're going to leave you here tonight with my girl, Kim Person.
waiting on your blessing, wondering when it's gonna come. You've been faithful, you've been praying, working hard to get it done.